Hey everybody, welcome to Baloney episode 9. Little technical issues getting started up again this time. I thought I had this stuff kind of worked out last time, but I did have it worked out. And then I got sick, and I wasn't able to do a show for a while. And now I'm doing the show again, and I thought I was prepared, and I'm not. So, typical. Yeah. I think I'm maxing out here on audio, so I'm going to bring down my level just a little bit. Hopefully it sounds a little bit better. Okay, anyway, sorry if it was a little too loud there. Alright, so this episode is being recorded and streamed on Ustream. It should eventually get to YouTube and everything else. I'm also recording it locally, so hopefully there's not too many technical hiccups. Hopefully y'all don't have some problems listening or hearing, getting good quality. Hopefully I'm not creating more problems than solving by attempting this. So anyway. So sorry there's no intro music. Again, I'll work all that stuff out for next time. So let me get back into the actual show. Alright, this show is going to be... Well, somebody's calling me during the show, always. This show is going to be about some things that have been going on lately. And I'm just going to dive right in. One of the things I want to talk about is the ongoing video game console war. And if you're not aware of that, then you are not aware of a lot of things. But there's video game consoles, if you're interested in video games at all, which hopefully you are, otherwise I don't know why you're listening to this or watching this, but whatever. Anyway, there's several video game consoles that have recently come out. Last year, Nintendo launched their next-gen system that they called the Wii U. The Wii U? And that's what they called it. So, in keeping with that trend, Microsoft, knowing that they were going to release their next game console, decided to call it the Xbox One. Okay. So far, we've got a trend. We've got two names that make no sense, that are probably confusing to basic consumers, people that might be looking to buy their kids a game system and don't know a whole lot about them. So, mission accomplished so far, staying on track. And then you got Sony, who goes and ruins everything by releasing the PlayStation 4, which is actually the next number in line after the PlayStation 3, which it's a bunch of bullcrap. Why would they do that? It's like not even imaginative at all. It's like, oh, well, if you're going to go with just the easy thing, I mean, you have to admit, like, Microsoft and Nintendo must have been pretty pissed about that. They must have been like thinking, okay, things are going a certain kind of way here, and then here comes Sony and screws everything up. You know, we thought we had some kind of agreement or something. I don't know. Anyway, but so we'll get to the Sony situation in a minute. But it's been interesting to see how this little war has unfolded. I'm going to make a couple of adjustments here. I think I'm still topping out pretty high. Hopefully this fixes it to where it sounds a little bit better. Like I said, I can't really hear what y'all hear, so I apologize about that. If y'all are experiencing something that I'm not, then my bad. So yeah, I'm going to try also to see if I can pull that chat room up, because I really like to be able to see if there's anybody in there. There's a chat room. If you're watching this or listening to this in some way where you're not able to see everything or, be aware of everything that's going on, there is a chat room. And there's one on Ustream, I think. And then there's also one on the Spreaker website. So I'm probably not going to mess with the chat. Okay? This is going to be too confusing now that I'm thinking about it. The more I think about it. this is not going to work out. So if you want to chat, please chat. But I don't know that I'm going to get that involved in that. Maybe I can figure that out next time. I got a lot of things to figure out, okay? All right, anyway. So, barring that, back to what I was talking about. So, with the console launches, Nintendo had a year ahead. They were like a year to work out the kinks and figure out, you know, what's working and what's not working and come up with a good plan, you know, how to fight Microsoft and Sony once they get involved. How are we going to do that? How are we going to meet that challenge when that arrives? Because we know that you've got this huge international conglomerate, Sony, who manufactures electronics and makes movies and music and has TV shows and, oh yeah, also a game console. So we kind of want to figure out how to fight them when they decide to reinvent themselves for the PlayStation 4. Which it was pretty clear early on that's what was happening. So, anyway. Plus, Microsoft, not to be undone, also major multi-billion-dollar corporation. So we're going to have to figure out a way to fight them. Well, it didn't work out that well. And it didn't work out that well for a couple of reasons, which I think I may have alluded to a minute ago with the naming and things like that, which you would have thought Microsoft would have paid attention, having a year to think about what the name should be, but decided, okay, we're still going to confuse the hell out of people. Okay, so we'll still call it the Xbox One. Nintendo calls the next system the Wii U. Everybody's like, what the hell's a Wii U? I don't know what that means. What are you talking about? Wii U? Me? What? Something? You know, the 3DS had come out. The 3DS, which is 3D, and it's a DS. Pretty easy to understand there. Parents had the DS already. It's 3D. Oh, it's 3DS. Gotcha. Pretty easy to figure that out. But Wii U, what the hell is that? So confusing was it that all the sales that were accumulated by Nintendo in that entire year totaled out about 5.5 million units. 5.5 million Wii U's sold from launch until the end of the year, this past year, 2013. So, you go, wow, 5.5, that's a lot. It sounds like they did pretty good. Well, not so much. When you look at PlayStation 4, which sold 4.6 million, and Xbox One, which sold 3.2 million in the span of 2 months. Actually, 1.5 months. I mean, not so good. So before January is over, Sony will probably, with the PlayStation 4, have sold more PlayStation 4s in 2.5 months than Nintendo has sold in over a year. The Wii U is a failure, okay? And that is where the war begins, with failure. Now, the Wii U failure has put Nintendo into a crisis. They were reluctant to admit for the longest time that there was a problem at all. And now they are finally admitting it. Okay, there might be an issue here. So, in order to admit it, they had to go to their stockholders and say, okay, yeah, we're not going to make as much money as we thought we would. We were thinking we were going to make a whole lot. We thought we were going to sell about 9 million of these things in 2014. And we're going to downscale that to less than 3, probably about 2.8. Yeah, we project to lose about $240 million. Or, translation, 25 billion yen. That's how much they're going to lose on the Wii U. Okay? That's how much the company's going to lose. Now, keep in mind that the 3DS is selling really well. Okay? The 3DS is selling extremely well, in fact. They sold 42 million 3DSs, okay? 42 million 3DSs. Remember, they only sold 5.5 Wii U's. 5.5 million Wii U's. Versus 42 million. And even with all that profit, they're losing money. They're losing $240 million. They got a problem. Now, what is the solution to that problem? I don't know. I mean, they've been talking. There's all these rumors, discussions that Nintendo's talking to Google, supposedly, looking at Android-type solutions, apps for phones and tablets. Nintendo's denying that, but it's being reported that they're talking to people, so I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. Nintendo may be about to, and it's horrible to think about it, but Nintendo might be about to head into that pasture that Sega went into. And that pasture is not very pleasant, because that's where they keep all the crap. Okay, that's not the good grass over there for grazing. You know, that's the one you don't want to go to. You want to stay over here, where Microsoft and Sony are. Now, Microsoft has their own problems, okay? Now, the naming issue, it's a problem, okay? I think people have pretty much figured it out now, though. I think it seems like the initial problem of the naming it wasn't as big a deal as people thought it would be. So, people have kind of figured out, okay, Xbox One is not really the Xbox One, it's the Xbox One. Not the first Xbox, the Xbox One. Who's on first? You know, that kind of thing. But they figured it out. So, that's good. They figured out what to buy. You know, but buying it is the problem, because the reason that the sales for the Xbox One are lower than PS4 is because it costs $100 more, and people go, God dang, it's $499 for the Xbox One and $399 for PS4. Why am I going to spend an extra $100 on Xbox One? Well, the answer to that supposedly is because it comes with Kinect. The Kinect costs more to manufacture, so it's going to cost $100 more. And that sounds reasonable, unless you look at the actual hardware that these systems have, which is the other problem that you have with Xbox One. First of all, the PlayStation 4, and this has been kind of documented pretty well, I think, at this point on the internet. The PlayStation 4 is considerably more powerful. The PlayStation 4 is considerably more powerful than Xbox One. Now, some of the websites that I've seen have rated that as high as 50% more powerful. I don't know, whatever. I'm not a engineer, whatever. But it's pretty freaking powerful. It's got 8 gig of much, much faster RAM, the GDDR5 RAM. It's got a much better graphics processing unit, which is what you want for a video game console, powerful graphics. It's a problem that Microsoft has. You know, they got some other issues with the console, too. Like, for instance, with the PlayStation 4, both systems comes with a 500 gigabyte hard drive, right? PlayStation 4, you can swap that out. You can go buy your own laptop. It has to be like a thin hard drive. It could be either an SSD or a laptop hard drive, 2.5 inches thick. But you can go buy any computer hard drive that meets those requirements and put it in that thing. You can do it yourself. It's really easy to do. In fact, you can pop the side of it off, and you unscrew one screw, and then you put it in. You just pop the old one out, put the new one in. It's pretty easy. It's designed for that. It's designed to be replaced. The Xbox One has a 500 gig hard drive, but it's internal, and it's not replaceable without cracking the case open and voiding your warranty. So, Microsoft has said later on they're going to support external hard drives. I don't know when that later on date will be or how they're going to do that exactly. Because you know how with the Xbox 360 they had sort of an external hard drive, but it was proprietary. It was the one that they actually made for the Xbox 360, and you had to buy that one, and then you could upgrade from there. So you're paying, twice as much for a hard drive as you should, but that was an option. So maybe they'll do something similar. The problem that you have is, once the Xbox One start to get a little older, those hard drives start failing. Eventually, a hard drive fails. Everybody that has had a computer for any length of time, they know that a hard drive will eventually die. So you're going to end up with a whole lot of Xbox Ones with bad hard drives that people can't fix themselves. So I guess the solution to that is that Microsoft wants you to mail it to them and have them fix it for you. So, I don't know. Maybe that's what the solution is. We haven't really gotten to that in this whole discussion yet. I guess we will. So anyway, there's a lot of issues there. Okay? So I think that a lot of people look at the PlayStation 4 as being less issues, cheaper price, more powerful game system. So it's selling a lot better. It's selling a lot better right now. Okay? Now, will that remain that way? I don't know. But that's what's happening right now with the